nutrition and mental health development. Starting off, I would like to ask, what is really mental health? And how is it connected to our brain development? Well, it helps us develop the way we think psychologically, biologically, and mentally. It also provides us to extend the way we think about the way we eat and the way we proceed towards the day. Next slide I'm going to be talking about is how is nutrition and mental health development really related? They are very related if we think of it politely. And if we stand up to a certain extent and say, how are they really related? We can technically tell by the way we eat. If we're eating the right amount of whole grains during the day, or the right of fruits, vegetables, etc. during the day, the way we proceed towards the day is very simple for us to understand how our brain functions. There are links between low levels of certain nutrients such as folate, magnesium, iron, zinc, vitamin B6, B12, and D. And more importantly, if we're not really having those right amount of magnesiums and vitamins during the day, there will be worsening mood, feeling down, anxiety, and of course, a risk of depression. The role of nutrition is very easy to understand. If we look at it, growth and the development of bodies is very simple. Building, maintaining, fueling, and repairing every single cell in our brain and body. Let's look at it this way. If you have a car, a very expensive car, if you're not putting the right fuel for it, the car will be worsening over time. However, if we stick to the right certain amount of nutrients and vitamins, we are putting the car in the right function. It's the same as the brain. If we're eating the right nutrients during the day, we are building new cells every single day. It's the same as every year. We have to at least have 39 essentials that has to be provided by the food. Now I'm going to draw a graph over here, and this is how simply provides us and makes us feel during the day. Let's see, for breakfast, for example, if we're starting for breakfast and we are having, for example, as a usual breakfast that I will have a bowl of oats, veg with the fruits aside, dark chocolate, and just a cup of coffee. What do you think in mind? Is that the right amount of nutrients per day that we're supposed to have? No? Why do you say so? Oats are whole grains and fruits. Do you think it's the right amount of food that we have to breakfast? Comparing to someone who has just a bar of chocolate, thinking that it'll make us stand out for the day. Which is better, whole grains or chocolate? Yes, exactly. Very good. So if we have the whole grains during the day, we are having the right amount of energy for us to be capable of working during the day, staying focused, and being able to clearize our brain functions. So this is for us, at least our whole grains last at least from 2 to 3 hours a day until our next meal, which is lunch. However, if the person has a bar of chocolate, he will stick to his real energy about 30 to 40 minutes max. That's it. It's right. If they're having chocolate, they will feel energetic. You see them chit-chatting, being able to chat, laugh, etc. However, this really lasts to 30 and 40 minutes, and then they're hungry again. And that's already a lot of calories for one bar of chocolate. However, if we're having a whole grain, we are able to stand up, stay focused, be able to focus during class for 3 to 4 hours, like I said. These include vitamins, minerals, essential amino acids, omega-3, and omega-6 acids. Like I said, we need at least 36 essential nutrients to be provided during the day. It's the same as having a plate. You have chicken aside, vegetables aside, a little bit of fatty acids such as, potatoes, anything that feels avocado, a salad, etc. And then you have the right amount of salads. However, for a snack, you will stick to something like omega-6 or omega-3 such as, nuts, walnuts, etc. for you to keep functioning the brain. Specific nutrients have to be needed in usually high quantities. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that once you have a right amount divided for the day, you are having the right high quantities. There may be some allergies that you have to stick with, and you can replace it with something else. For example, I have some allergies and intolerances to normal milk. I switch it up to coconut or almond milk. I don't mean cut it off and don't drink normal milk. Of course, we do need milk, but try to switch it up. If you're a vegetarian, stick to broccoli. Stick to high-fatty vegetarian bowls. It's very easy for you to compare and switch up between the right amount of nutrients that you need a day. The most important part of this presentation is really how the effect of food. The relationship between it is very clear. If you're sticking to a physical and a right diet, you are in the right shape. I'm not saying cut off anything that you're craving a day. I'm saying balance it off during the day. When you stick to a diet of healthy food, you're setting yourself up for fewer mood functionalities, an overall happier outlook, and an improved ability to focus. Dr. Cora from Harvard University has stated that a couple of years ago, 2016, she has found and she has made a proper presentation and a proper research on all around the world, from Europe, Asia, Africa, and South Africa, and the States, comparing how does it really function, our brain function, and how does we human beings have to stratify the way we think and the way we stick to our diet. And she has stated that once you stick to a proper diet with the right amount of nutrients, the human being will be to a better outlook of a happier person. And if they stick to a less right nutrients during the day, they are more depressed, more anxious, and more tired. This is one of my favorites, food and brain connection. Previously, they have focused on single nutrients like magnesium, vitamin D, etc., but we just don't eat the right singles. Now, some of you are sticking to the right pills of omega-3, omega-6, and magnesium, thinking that it's really going to impact. However, we doctors and overall doctors have already stated that once you're having these pills, you are not having the right functional abilities to actually function your body properly. Even if the pills you read on the aesthetic saying, oh, you're gonna be bulky, you're gonna be just right, your hair is gonna grow faster, your skin is gonna be clear. It has nothing compared to having vegetables, fresh vegetables. I love going to the bazaar and checking out all the vegetables at the Chatalja Bazaar and just choosing all those salads, fresh peppers, potatoes. So much better than me going to a pharmacy and getting all those pills. Now for you, what do you think is better? And I'm not judging any of you. Would you stick to the pills or would you stick to the vegetables? Yes. Shifting focus to dieting patterns is very good for you. It's the little things that affect our body. Once you switch it up from pills, you're becoming a better person of who you are. You are building a very healthy body for yourself. Certain ways that the diet has been shown to impact mental health, such as inflammation, oxidative stress. This is out of the pills, by the way, that you think, most of us think actually, that are so useful. Brain plastics such as hippocampal volume. What I mean by that is that our brain gets used to the purpose of sticking up to pills and not being able to, choose fresh peppers. Oh, there's this pill that this doctor said I can stick to and it'll be the perfect amount of potatoes per day. No. Your brain will lose more cells than it normally does if we stick to just vegetables and not the pills. Again, now you're thinking, Yo, Matani, how is diet and mental health really related? It's very clear. You yourselves, you can see it's very clear. Once you stick to the right amount of nutrients and vegetables and foods during the day, you are setting yourselves for a better version of yourself. You are seeing yourselves 50 years later on the good health environment. You're seeing yourself sticking there, yo. At age 15, 16, 17, I stick to eating vegetables, and look at me now. I think you should do the same thing, and so do I. Once you stick to it, you're setting out for yourself for a better version. Researchers have shown of how we eat is how we feel. What do I mean by that? Sometimes I do feel like, oh, I'm craving chocolate. This is how I feel. And it's okay. I junk myself to sleep eating chocolate, thinking it's gonna worsen and better my mood off. But really, it's not. So stick to choosing the right amount of nutrients that your brain functions to need. Eating well can help you feel better. You don't have to make big choices to your diet. Like I said, I'm not saying, from today, stop eating bread or stop eating fizzy drinks. Cut them off a little bit. Maybe have a fizzy drink once a day, or maybe stick to half a fizzy drink a day. Maybe instead of drinking fizzy drinks, try to drink organic juices such as oranges, maybe water. I'm not saying change it. Eating regularly, these are the most important tips that I can give to you to try them out, is eating regularly. If this can stop your blood sugar leveling from dropping, which can make you feel tired and bad-tempered. Stay hydrated. Please do stay hydrated. A lot of us are not really drinking enough water, and so am I not really. And you really should be drinking water at least 8 cups a day, most of the doctors have stated. Eating the right amount of balance of fats. What do I mean by that? Okay, nuts are the right amount of fats, and so are avocados. But I'm not saying, okay, avocados are so healthy, I'm gonna eat them every day. Yeah, once. I'm not saying 3 times, 4 times avocados or walnuts. I'm not saying go get yourself a big bag full of nuts and walnuts for you to eat for a day. A pinch of your hand is just enough for you to have the right amount of fats per day for your brain to function and fuel up. These right amount of fats are found in such things such as olive oil, repressed oil, nuts, seeds, avocado, milks, and eggs. Avoid trans fats, often found in processed packaged food. What are these? When I go to Lidl, I see these packages full of beans and peas, and I'm like, okay, maybe this will shorten up my work today and cook really fast. No, I'm not doing that. Once we studied this, I stopped it. My teacher was telling me, yo, you see these plastic bags in the freezer in Lidl, they have no effect. And ever since that day, I just have these nightmares where I'm like, what if those vegetables are really not the right amount? What if they added some certain spills to it? And yes, they might have. As they can be really bad for your mood and your heart health. Instead of choosing normal beans, stick to vegetable beans, right amount of vegetables at the market. Also including whole grains, fruits, and vegetables, like I included earlier for your breakfast. Maybe start the day with half a banana and oats or avocado toast with some eggs. Include some protein with every single meal, and I mean it. Chicken, meat, fish. Look after your gut health, please do. Your gut health can really feel how you're feeling. What do I mean by that? Some of us are really drinking five times a week, drinking alcohol, thinking it's gonna loosen up the pain. It's not. You're really making it worse for your guts. Really are. Maybe cut it off to twice a week. I'm not saying cut it off completely. Once you practice cutting it off normally, you find yourself to a better person of cutting it to the right amount. Be aware of how caffeine can affect your mood. This is my favorite one. I should be telling this to myself because we really need to be aware of how caffeine can affect your mood. A year ago, I used to drink a cup of coffee before I go to sleep, thinking it's gonna be the right choice for me to feel better. Or sometimes I used to drink when I was like anxious about exams and stuff, 3 cups a day. When I go into bed, I can hear my heart beating so hard and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna have a heart attack. I'm not gonna make it to the exam tomorrow. I'm on sort of pills, it's nothing. And really is. Stick to 1 cup per day. And as researchers has found and doctors have found that drink your coffee 2 hours after breakfast. This is when your brain is already functioning because you had the right amount of more minerals and vitamins and fruits and whole grains during the day, then it's able to function. When you wake up from bed, your brain is still in the position of asleep. When you wake up, it's still there as in, still not in the mood to make a move for the next step and next hour. However, when you started off with whole grains and stuff, it starts functioning. It's like I talked about opening a car. Sometimes you have to wait a little bit for it to settle down, to cool down, and then start it moving. Same with this breakfast. Stick to it. Don't drink 3 cups a day of coffee. It's really bad for your health and your heart, as I said. It can cause really sleep problems. It really does. You wake up 2 hours after, 3 hours, maybe not sleep, under eyes. These can really be found in chocolate, tea, cola, energy drinks, and chocolate. Caffeine, lower it down, yeah? Thanks for presentation. For this slide, sharing meal with others, we are speaking about how our psychology works. Maybe some of us, when eating alone, really affects us psychologically, and we don't like it, so we just eat a small amount and we're full. Maybe eating disorders. Maybe we don't have friends. Maybe we're lonely, and it's okay. But when you start doing these kind of situations and these kind of active routines, such as social and biological benefits of eating with other people, they give us a sense of rhythm and reflect on the day and feel connected to others. Once we start sharing and eating to other people, we are feeling more energetic. Our brain starts functioning, oh, okay, I can eat this amount, but then I'm talking to people. Wow, I'm actually doing it for once. My psychological, biological, physiological movement of our body starts functioning, starts thinking to further thoughts of, I need to tell them about my day. I need to tell them about how I feel. Also, biologically, eating up straight chairs helps with our digestion. Some of us eat in bed. Crisps, chocolate, popcorn. Really, it's going to be making you bloated. So might as well cut it down, yeah? Talking and listening also slows down, so we don't eat too fast. Some of us eat really fast, a doner, a burger, just in one time. Slow it down, yeah? Next meal. Choose a meal that's easy to prepare. When you're in a group of people, maybe make the most of meal times by setting aside, and at least once a week, eat with a family. I'm not saying hang out with your friends 3 times a week to eat a meal outside. No, I'm saying eat once outside with a family member or friends. Make the best out of it. Your body needs it. Your brain needs it. Maybe share a meal. Ask them to come over. Cook together. Sit together. Turn off the TV. Chit chat about how your day is going. Tell them about how you feel. This is I'm not pretty sure if you can see it very well. Can everybody see it? Yeah? All right. So this is a proper diagram or a table that talks about Western diet. And we have Western diet, which is high in fat, sugar, and carbohydrates, and its effect on the body. And then we have the one that is rich in vegetables and fruits. As you can see, if we're eating more carbs and sugars, increasement of it, we're having inflammation in the body. and we are having a decrease in the right amount of vegetables and fruit. Once we also have a high amount of carbohydrates, fats, and sugar, we are having oxidative stress and less whole grains and fruits. However, once we're having a normal amount or a decreasement of carbohydrates and fats, we are having hypochemical volume, an increasement in the right amount of whole grains and fruits. Now you're like, okay, understood that you described this to us, but what does it really mean? What it has is, every single food we eat has an impact on our brain function and our mental well-being. Eating high quality foods that contain lots of vitamins, minerals, and oxidates nourishes the brain and protects it from oxidative stress. Now feed yourself the right amounts. High quality of foods. To not have it take you to a next level of stress or oxidative stress. A healthy, well-balanced diet can really help you think clearly, feel more alert. It can also improve concentration and attention. It also can lead to fatigue, impaired decision-making, and also can slow down your reaction time. This the slogan or title was called A Rotten Way to Feed the Children, was discovered by Stephen Northern in 2004, April 14, where he and the World Health Organization predicted that in year 2020, there will be 50% rise in child mental disorders. Now, if we look at this, is it right? Is he right? Was his discovery right? Did he predict it right? Yes. Now, if we look at this back at Corona time, this really makes a big impact. We were depressed. We stayed home. We were quarantining most of the time. We stick to junk food, chocolate, TikTok, dances, all those YouTube channels. No one leaving the house. Everyone is just staying in their rooms. No one seeing anyone for at least 7 months. He has also, and the UK government, have been forced to pump at least £342 million into school behavior improvement programs because of their behavior. None of them are being respectful. None of them are doing the right amount. No one's reading a book anymore. No one's really helping out or asking questions. They're all depressed, sitting in the corner of the room, not sharing anything, not going out in lunchtime, or choosing to go to the library to pick a book and sit down at the library table. The meal timing. Breakfast is the first meal. I think most of our parents have told us, don't go outside before you go get your breakfast done. Don't leave the house before you have breakfast. My mom used to run after me when I was in 9th grade, saying, if you're not gonna eat your breakfast, you're not gonna have your phone at the end of the day. And I would just eat it out of a sudden, really fast, not to skip it. But now when I look back to it today, and living alone here, I would always sit down, eat my breakfast before I go to uni. Breakfast, we have a small amount of time where our energy goes down, and then lunchtime, and then our energy goes down a bit, and then we have a snack, such as walnuts, small salad, fruit salad, an apple, something small, not too much, and then finally dinner. Most importantly about dinner, you have to eat dinner at least 3 hours before you go to bed. You can't be just fully bloated and just going to sleep again. Give yourself a right amount of time before going to bed to digest and sit down, drink a lot of water, and then go to bed. Food in our body's main fuel. We need it to top it regularly with a balance of food groups to keep blood sugars stable. This is another table, but different than the one I'm about to talk about, which says skipping breakfast. When we used to do it in 9th grade, I'm really tired. Lunch, big high in sugar because you're really hungry, so that's a double meal, maybe even more, because I've been starving for 3 hours. Hungry again, oh, I have to starve myself because I'm going to have dinner soon. And then how many calories a day? That's around 3,000 calories for nothing. And plus that, even if it's 3,000 calories, you're not having the right amount of minerals and vitamins for your brain. You're just eating chocolate and, I don't know, crackers, cheese crackers, croissant, fresh ones. Really good though. And then just being hungry again. Before I come to a conclusion to this, our bad habits nowadays. Eating fast food such as burgers, pizza, pastries, sweets, etc. Soda drinks, not enough whole grains, unbalanced, rich in calories, high in fat and sugar. Half of the calories are coming from ultra-processed food. We already talked about these. Most of them, okay, just got myself vegetables from the freezer, dip it in, all right, there we go. Skipping breakfast, and most importantly, not having enough sleep. Now, this is the main one, and I think a lot of people, and I have some friends that have some eating disorders. Now, if you feel you're using food as a negative coping mechanism to deal with emotional pain, or as a way to feel in control, you may have an eating disorder. And if you do, and if you see anybody who has it, please go out to help, get help. There is a National Eating Disorder Association in Bulgaria, and as soon as you search it up on Google right now, they give you a number, and you call it. Please do get help. It's a serious. People even become suicidal because of this. Because, I don't know, they want to stick to these skinny Victoria's Secret models out of nowhere. Yeah, I look at them every day and I'm like, yo, she's pretty hot. I want to be like her. And it's okay. But we have to put ourselves a priority for once. Look up to ourselves. What should we be eating? Overall diet's pattern. This is just a summary, as we all know. Increased intake of vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, nuts and seeds, and foods rich in omega-3. A good diet example is Mediterranean diet. Now, I come from North Africa, and my mom would always stick to this Mediterranean diet, which is full of the right amounts. And I used to be like, whenever she cooks it, because I come back home and see all these skinny girls and etc., and I'm like, yo, mom, this is not the right amount of foods I need to be eating. What is this? And then when I researched it now, when typing this presentation, I just realized this is one of the best diets that we can stick to. It's full of omega-6, vegetables, right amount of fats, legumes, and whole grains. Decreased intake of processed foods. Try to decrease it down. Other ways I can take care of my mental health. If you can improve a healthy diet, you can improve your mental health. It all connects, all does, from up to here. It all connects up. Staying physically active. Maybe if I don't know, if you live 15 minutes close to the school, maybe walk it to school. If you're going to a restaurant that's 5 minutes away, instead of taking a taxi or a bus, walk it. Maybe stick to 10,000 steps a day. I'm not saying it all at once. Maybe once after a while, 2 hours later, walk a bit. Take yourself on walks. Go during nature. Spending time in nature. Go out with friends in nature. Avoid cigarettes and alcohol. And I mean this one. Avoid them. Developing good sleep habits. Naps and sleep habits. That's it. Thank you so much. Have a great day.